that's a really good way to start out, don't you
Yeah,
think?
might as well get the copyright strike over with right at the beginning.
They don't care. Nobody cares.
Yeah. We sang a lot of copyrighted songs on our last couple of live streams. No one has given us any strikes, right?
No. The only strike I got was when I did this clip of The Mask of Zorro, where I was like, he was very vigorous, father. So that's the best line in the movie. Hello, friends!
Hej och välkomna!
We're so glad. We already have 2 likes. I think it was the kazoo playing. I think that's what was the trick.
Yes. Hey Andreas.
Hey!
Not sure what the finger guns are about.
Hey Gia!
God kväll.
God kväll today. So maybe we'll have more people showing up because I put such a interesting title of what we fight about, because it's just impossible to imagine us ever fighting, isn't it? We just are so sweet.
I can imagine it.
Well, duh, you can.
See, my point too was, that I was disagreeing with you.
Oh, you were fighting. Oh, Andre's got a second jab. That's really cool. Congratulations. So, shall we jump into the Swedish portion of the conversation?
Det tycker jag att vi ska.
Ja.
Så vi börjar med att hoppa rakt in i den svenska delen av vår konversation.
Just in case anybody actually shows up that doesn't usually come, I'll make a comment and say,
yes.
We do Swedish learning for the first 20-ish minutes, and then we get to the juicy stuff. Yeah. Juicy. The juice. Where did we leave off? Oh no, we actually finished this, didn't we?
No, we did not.
So we only have these 2 pages. Wait, never mind. I can.
Oh yeah. We ended with the trash lady.
The trash lady.
She's not trashy. She collects trash.
Yes. All right. Gamla fönstret. Vem bor här? Lampan är så glittrigt skär. Ja, nu vet jag vem det är. Old window, who lives here? The lamp is so shining cut.
A glittery
pink. Knife. Oh, pink.
Yes, skär in this context is a shade of pink.
So it's either a shade of pink or to cut.
Yes.
Okay. Sure, Swedish. So the lamp is so glittering pink. That's a weird way to say that. Is that a weird way to say that? Is that artsy fartsy poetic?
It's for the sake of the rhyme.
Okay. Let's write glittrig.
Yes.
Because that's a nice word.
Glittery.
Was it 2 T's?
Yes.
Glittrig.
Yeah, you can stop with the G because that's the whole thing.
Okay.
The
So,
N words and T words.
Glittrig. Glittrig. You say it, Morton.
Glittrig.
Glittrig. It sounds like you hit the second I a little bit more.
Glittrig. No. Emphasis on the first one. Glittrig.
Glittrig. But the eyes are different, I guess is what I meant to say.
Oh, let's...
Bum, 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 bum.
We have different songs stuck in our heads.
Yes. So, whoa.
Oh, sorry.
It's
My
okay.
fault.
At least the
lid was on, yes.
His computer. I don't even ever put any open cups near it. I always put it on a shelf next to it. But this has a lid on, so. So, did I actually translate? I did translate it. Move on. Carry on to the next page.
Glitter Kenneth dansar loss till en discolåt förstås. Rytmen dunkar, pulsen slår. Shake it baby, kom vi går.
I love that it says shake it baby in his Swedish book. So Glitter Kenneth dansar los is like dancing his butt off. What, like dancing, like letting it all out?
Yes.
Dansar los till en discolåt, to a disco song. You understand?
Of course.
Oh, I always think of förstås as you understand.
Yeah, but it's like, but when you use it like that, it means like, you know, anyone could understand this. Because it's
obviously.
obvious.
Obviously, he's a disco guy. Rhythm dunkar.
How
would you?
Dunka, it's...
Pulses?
Yeah,
No.
it's pulse. Yeah, it's like, because in this case, dunka is like, it's like this, it's like, it's almost booming, but not quite.
Mm-hmm. So dunkar is like kind of pulsing. Pulsen slår. Does that mean like your pulse is soaring?
Yeah, it's beating, like, but it's like, you know, implying that it's beating fast.
Okay. Let's write that whole phrase down because why not? It sounds like a fun phrase. Can you say
Rytmen.
Rytmen. I always want to say more of an E sound for Y, but that's wrong.
Rytmen.
Rytmen dunkar. Pulsen. And slår is an interesting word because it's also like a word for hit.
Yeah. Because, you know...
Mm-hmm.
It slaps.
Slaps. How would you translate shake it, baby? No, I'm just kidding. And to bring it back from the other time before, kom, vi går is come, let's go. We're leaving. Kom, vi går. Okay, now you can read the next page.
Or should we switch? Because I read the previous one.
Sure.
But I could read, if you want to read about the weird person this time, I can read about the window.
Okay, sure.
Öppna fönstret. Vem bor här? Fönsterbrädan full med bär. Ja, nu vet jag vem det är.
So, open window. Who lives here? Fönsterbrädan. The windowsill.
Yes.
I figured out by the picture. I'm not so smart. The windowsill is full of berries. Yes, now I know who lives here.
Yes, fönsterbräda. Windowsill.
That seems like a really...
Literally window board. I mean, it's a useful word to know.
I guess.
There are times when you need to know that.
Sure. I find it super boring, but let me know if you think it's boring, Gia, because I want to know verbs. I want to know how to communicate.
Yeah. But you can't. There's an A.
Huh?
An A there. Yeah.
So I could just point to this just as easily as.
Yeah, but it's also like if you're asking where something is and it's like den är på fönsterbrädan, you know, it's on the windowsill. You need to know what that means. Like
Fönster. I didn't say I never want to learn this word. I say that I'm more interested to encourage other people about words that are more useful towards communicating, or words that are more poetic and interesting in that sense. Fönsterbrädan. Windowsill.
have we ever spoken about berries?
Let's write the word for berries. Oh, Gaia says it is interesting because it's similar to Fensterbrett.
Which is the German word for windowsill.
Deutsch. But what's the German word for berries? I don't remember. But it's bad.
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 Which I do believe means bear in German.
Bär. Isn't bear bear in German?
Yeah, well, but I'm pretty sure it's spelled that way.
Oh, yeah, I think so. All right.
But I'm not sure. It might not be.
Okay. Friluftsbära som fick nog byggde om sitt hus till skog. Tatte grannar, björnbär snår, 4 rådjur. Kom, vi går.
Okay, there were a few things here.
Did I make some mistakes?
Täta granar.
Okay.
And rådjur. It's the D silent.
Oh. I am never having tissues. No matter how many times I take out a package and put it in this stupid drawer, it's never in there.
You try reading that again. I'll look if there are some tissues somewhere else. Oh, there's some here.
Does anyone else have this problem?
Ah, yes. Yeah, shares here the difference between berries and bears in German. Bären and Bären.
That sounds like the word barren, like not able to have children.
Ah. See, I thought of Baron as in, the noble title.
Huh. Or bear in the woods. Or bear in difficulties.
Okay, yes.
Okay, so.
Do you want to try to read that again?
Oh, sure. Friluftsbäret som fick nog byggde om sitt hus till skog. Tätte grannar, björnbär snår, 4 rådjur. Kom, vi går.
Yeah, that's better.
Thanks. So, fresh air berry.
Barra.
Is that just the name?
Yeah, that's the name.
Well, I'm translating into English and I'm calling him Barry.
Yeah, I suppose.
Fresh air berry. Som fick nog. I understand the second line is building his house like a forest.
Yes.
But I don't understand som fick nog.
Who had enough.
Oh, let's write this down.
Yes. Att få nog is to have enough. To get enough. But yet to... Or, in this case, it's more like, got fed up.
Yeah. Att få nog. To get full up. So, yeah. What's the whole sentence? Jag har fick upp nog.
Jag har fått nog. Aldrig mer att jag... I don't know.
Jag har fått nog. Det räcker nu.
Double T on fått.
That's another way to say it's enough. Det räcker nu. I hear this a lot from Morton talking to the kids.
Yes.
Jag har fått nog. I have had enough.
Jag har fått nog av de här ormarna på det här flygplanet.
What? I have had enough of the berries on this planet?
No, I said... jag har fått nog av de här ormarna på det här flygplanet.
Oh. He said, I've had enough of these snakes on a plane. The pause was for the swearing that he wasn't going to do. We've never seen this movie, but a lot of people know about it.
Yes.
Snakes on a plane. It looks like a real tearjerker.
Did you know that was not supposed to be that was supposed to just be the working title? They were going to give it a serious title.
And he's like...
And then Samuel L. Jackson was like, that title was the only reason I agreed to do the film.
You change the title, I'm out. Jag har fått nog.
But yes, so Friluftsberg Berra had enough, turned his house into a forest.
What's tätte grannar?
Thick... Oh wait, I just learned this, that granar are not actually pines, they're spruces.
Okay. Grannar is spruces.
Which is the trees that you use for Christmas trees.
But grannar, AR.
No, but it's still an A.
Oh.
It's just a short A. No, it's exactly the same, except just double N.
Oh. What?
Yeah, so AR.
Okay. You feel like you could have just answered it straightforward the first time. This is what we fight about. So grannar is spruce and grannar is neighbors.
Wait, can you say both of those again?
Granar. Granar is spruce and grannar is neighbors.
Yes.
Grannar,
Spruce trees.
grannar. Grannar, grannar.
Grannen i granen. The neighbor in the tree.
Oh, so what does täta grannar mean?
They're like thick.
Thick. Would you ever use that about a person? Jag är täta.
No, you would not. No, because it's thick as in like close together. Like
So could you describe people who have a close relationship?
Not real. I
This
don't
is
think
thick.
so.
What about
Thick,
what about
they're close together.
täta som tjuvaren?
Thick as thieves. No, you cannot. Like that's it does not translate at all.
Fine.
Like actually, you also use that as like Wait, how would you say that? It's like if you have something that like contains a liquid and doesn't like and nothing can come out, that it's I don't want to say waterproof, but it's like that it's like sealed sort of thing. Yeah.
So täta could work for sealed as well?
Yeah. Like as in that all the edges and such are sealed and nothing comes out. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So thick leaves.
Thick spruce trees.
Thick spruce trees. Björnbär snår. Björnbär. Bear fruit. What?
Yeah, it's a kind of berry. I think they're blackberries.
Oh.
Blackberry brambles.
Okay.
I believe brambles is the correct translation.
Och man gör björnbärssylt med björnbärssnår.
Well, of björnbär.
Oh.
You don't want to put the brambles in the jam.
Oh, right, yeah. Can you say that again?
Björnbärssnår. So you can just say björnbär first.
Uh-huh.
And then snår.
So, björnbär is a kind of vegetable. Berry. Björnbär. And also, Björn is a member of ABBA.
Yes.
But I'm sure he has a last name too, but I don't know.
That's Björn Ulvaeus. Otherwise, I thought you were going to do Björnbär and then go to Björn Borg.
Oh,
the
yeah.
tennis star.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Björn
that would have been
Borg
a fairly obvious.
He's a tennis person. But I don't think
And underwear. He's got an underwear brand
But
too.
I think that ABBA would be more recognizable to other people than tennis.
Possibly. But I mean...
If you know who Björn Borg is, let us know. We will be appropriately impressed.
I'm pretty sure... Like,
'Cause I don't know who he is.
Yeah, but it's like there was a big international movie about him. Like,
What's
just a year.
rådjur?
Rådjur is
Rådjur.
deer.
Okay. How do you spell that?
It literally means raw animals.
Why is the D silent?
It just is.
Rådjur. It's not nice for letters to be silent. What is this, French? That's where German is better. Every word is important.
Every letter, yeah.
Yes. Vi går hem... Oh wait, who read it last time?
That's okay, you
Okay.
can.
Vi går hem till oss igen. Promenerar mera sen. Fönstren lyser länge än. Haha, told you. Gaia said she doesn't know the second Bjorn we mentioned. You lose this round, Bjärgvida. So, vi går hem till oss igen. We're going home again. We're going back to our house again. Walking a little more then. Or after.
Yeah, we'll walk more later.
We'll walk more later. The windows are shining. What's länge än?
Like, for a long time yet.
So that's why we can keep walking because
that's how we can say we can go back out later because there will be light in the windows later.
Länge. A long time more. Can you say that in another sentence? Månen lyser länge än.
Yeah.
That means the moon is shining for a long time.
It was still something shining.
Yes. Jag är trött länge än.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those poetic, like that's not one of those poetic phrases that are not really used much in everyday language.
Okay. Well, we finished the book and it's been 20 minutes.
Perfect timing.
Boom shakalak. Ow. My shoulders and back kind of hurt from picking up 2 almost 5-year-olds a bunch of times today.
Yeah.
I'm getting old for this.
But yeah, I realized too I guess our generation outside of Sweden would probably only have heard of Björn Borg if you were interested in tennis.
Yes.
Like as I said, there was a movie about him recently, about his rivalry with McEnroe.
Morton, what song? Nobody cares. Oh, wait, that's not very nice. I care. Love you. Tell me more about it later. What song have you had in your head? We can use this to transition to the next part. Oh. Just a little. Thank you.
Yes,
that was
I don't even know I have never listened to the original version of that, but there's this amazing band on YouTube called Scary Pockets, and they do funk covers of all sorts of music, and they recorded a version of The Middle sometime back, and it is amazing.
Whenever I hear the word funk, I always think of, can't you take me to Funky Town? Can't you take me to Funky Town? So, I don't want this obviously to just be about us. So if you're comfortable talking about the things you fight about too, maybe we can give each other perspective. Maybe you can give us some perspective, you know?
Yes. What do you disagree with your loved ones about? No, not disagree. Like this, because I think this is more like on we're talking more about the small everyday annoyances. Not like we're not
well, whatever you feel comfortable talking about. Yeah. So like we just see things so differently.
Very much so.
Our brains just work in such different ways. We did talk a little bit about Ask Guest culture.
Did we talk about that?
A little bit.
Maybe, yeah.
We touched on it, at least. But we can go into more detail. That, like, okay, one thing is I don't communicate very well with Morton. I just, like, do stuff. And then he's like, where are you? Where did you go? And I was like, I just went.
Where's all my stuff? And he's like, I put it all away. I was using it.
We argued for a ridiculous amount of time about the placement of the hairbrush.
Yeah, or the sunscreen.
The sunscreen.
Yes. I had left it out. Like, I put sunscreen on our children. Then I was going to, still put some on myself, but I needed to do some other things, get ready with some other stuff first. So I left the sunscreen just in my bedroom to put it on myself later. And then when I come back, it's just gone.
But I'd also said, I don't think it should be on the bed. I think it should be put away. So you even had given me a chance to say that you didn't want it there.
Yeah, I was like, it's okay. I'm still using it. And then she still put it in the bathroom without letting me know that she had done that. So I was, looking around for it and thinking the kids had ran off with it.
Yeah. And you were thinking that it was a matter of me not trusting you to put it away.
Yeah.
And I hate stress. I hate things being a cause of stress because they're not where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So it was my own selfishness, not thinking that you were not capable of doing stuff.
Yeah.
But that's happened a lot with us over the years.
Yeah.
I ask you to do something and then you don't do it when I want you to do it, and they're like, fine, I'll just do it.
Yeah, and I'm like, if I said I will do something, I will do it. You don't have to nag me every single month.
I was wondering which one you were going to use, month, year, decade. Yeah. It's not easy when you have different timelines for things.
Yeah.
And of course, the more you get asked to do something, the more you just turn into yourself of like, well, I'm just going to keep making her wait if she's going to keep bugging me.
Yeah, that's this meme. There are a ton of versions of that, but it's like me after someone asks me to do something that I was already on my way to doing. Well, now I'm not gonna.
So, who's right? I'm just kidding.
Hey, can we put a poll here?
I don't think we can. I'll look at the screen. There was you doing this because of the delay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't feel like we would have enough. We don't really have enough viewers to get a good, a good enough data sample for a poll right now. Anyway.
But some of our stress also kind of goes to the fact that our brains are so different that you get lost in stuff, and you really don't have that concept of time or time passing once you're really hyper fixated on stuff.
Yep.
And I
very rarely on the thing that I'm supposed to be focusing on.
Really? Wow, this paper's due tomorrow, but this Wikipedia article led to this one, led to that one.
Yes.
So we're
the number of times where I'm like, okay, I need to sit down and just write this essay, this essay about leadership in schools, and then I come back an hour later and I'm like, so did you know about this thing that happened during the 100 Years' War?
So what's the last thing you hyperfixated on?
Well, I mean, I have for a while now, like I've gotten really, I've gotten back into D&D Dungeons and Dragons pretty deep. Like that's where that's sort of my default hyperfixation right now. And like all this theory and like character creation stuff, because it's also a bit of a creative outlet for me.
Oh yeah, I had no idea how much creativity could be involved in this game of combining acting and math.
Yes, yeah, it's
lots of math for figuring out your characters, but the acting part of it, of building your character and interacting with other characters as your character. And yeah, there's a lot of space. So and you like listen to these really long videos while you go about your day.
Yeah.
That's another thing we fight about.
Because that's also like I have not been diagnosed in any way, but I'm fairly certain that I have some kind of neurodivergence.
We're thinking possibly ADHD.
Yeah, or some variation thereupon. Some version of that.
Andreas is back.
Right.
Yay.
But yeah, because I just have, the hyperfixation, and also just the fact that it gets really hard for me to sort of not have some kind of input at all times. And so I tend to always walk around with headphones on and listening to either music or some sort of video of some kind.
And I'm like, can you just be present? And when you were trying to explain to me that it's more energy for you to just wait to be present.
Yeah, that like that the 30 seconds that nothing is happening around me feels like an hour sometimes.
Huh.
like if there is no input, I just lose like everything.
But it's different like for long trips in the car back in the day, because if you knew that it was going to be a long thing, then you could settle into your brain.
Oh yeah. Like if I know to expect it, that like I think while driving is a different thing too, because then I have something that I'm doing, so it's sort of like it is when it's the times where I'm not doing anything physically and also not doing anything mentally. That's where it gets I just get antsy very quickly.
So with Morton and his way of processing things, of losing track of time, we've had so many discussions and arguments over the years of, I thought you wanted to spend time with me. And I wanted him to realize, oh, a lot of time has passed and we haven't spent time together. I should do that. Like, I wanted him to miss me. I didn't want to have to be the one to say, aren't we going to spend some time together? So there were so many years. We haven't done this in a little while.
Yeah.
But there were so many years where I would just wait till I was at the tipping point of rage and just go in and just attack. I'm just, what's the matter with you? Why don't you want to spend time with me?
And I was sitting there at my computer and I'm like, what?
Do you know how late it is?
Like, yes.
So I needlessly just let myself build up rage to the point of going in and yelling.
Andreas seems to be relating a bit to the whole losing track of time. Yeah.
So
the worst part for me is, the worst thing I do though is when I don't actually, like, when I'm aware of what time it is, and I'm like, oh, I should get going. I just want to check out this one, like, oh, but this is just a 1 minute YouTube video. Like I can watch that before I go. And then I lose track. Like, even when I'm like, oh, I should be going now, but I'll do one more thing first, and then that one thing turns into
20 minutes.
13 things.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's read this comment. Oh, Andreas lost track of time yesterday. Yeah. Ja, ich bin hier. So if you want to converse with Morton, does going on a walk help more than sitting down and chatting, since walking is some physical action, even in the calm? Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, we do have we do have good conversations when we're out walking.
Yeah.
It's just we very rarely get the chance to go out walking anymore because with the kids and such.
But we also, it also is good to, when we love to watch shows together and then talk about the characters and we never just watch a show. We always end up pausing it and talking about it.
Yeah.
And then going back.
Which actually, like,
so
there's like, I read this thing, this is really interesting, I watched, it was some edutainment video on YouTube that was about this. Like, talking again about time conceptions and such. About like they talk about short long time and long short time, which is basically oftentimes things that feel like forever in the moment, like waiting for a delayed flight, get forgotten and like shortened in the memory, like because you have to wait for a delayed flight, and then your vacation feels like it passes in moments when you're doing it, but then when you think back on it, you remember all the stuff you did on your vacation. You don't remember sitting at the airport for 2 hours, And so that's why, like, so things that feel long in the moment are short in memory, and vice versa. But then they had discovered that, like, TV and others, like, simple for like that kind of entertainment can be short time. As in, it passes quickly when you're doing it because it's fun, but it doesn't have any sort of lasting impact on you, so it's also short in memory. The only but that effect doesn't happen if you actually engage with it together with someone else, so that there is a relationship building aspect to it. So it's really important for us to talk about the stuff that we watch, because that actually makes it worth the time in the long run.
Yeah. And it's fun to play games together too.
Yeah. And we very rarely fight when we play games.
No.
The thing we do fight about is just that I tend to just because of our different personalities and such, there are a lot of games where I just see solutions quicker than Katie. And then
in general, you will see solutions quicker than me. Your brain
Yeah.
just works in that more analytical way.
Yes. And then sometimes I give her tips and hints, or
are you
take over
sure
for
that's
her.
what you want to do?
Yeah. Uh-huh. or like because we like to play cooperative games, but then there are times where sort of I almost like take over and play for both of us.
And it's like, okay, well, I guess you don't really need me here.
And it's rough when and it's one of those things that I realize after I do it that that was rude of me, but it's so hard to recognize in the moment. And that's
because you get
true of
so
so many
caught
things.
up in being excited about finding solutions.
Yes.
And being clever.
Yeah.
That's something you've been accused of over the years, is being a know-it-all and all that fun stuff.
Yep. That was a time I made someone else, quite upset with me. Was when a colleague who went like, "When will you stop correcting me?" And I went, "When you stop being wrong." That was not the right thing to say. That was not the right thing at all.
That was to Naomi, wasn't it?
It was.
What did she do?
I don't really recall.
She blocked that memory.
I actually think that I think that it just stunned her enough that we sort of were able to reset
and kind of laugh about it.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, it was that was not a good thing to say.
Because you're so confident of your brain and your abilities, and I am also confident in some aspects of my brain. I'm much better at organizing my time, being aware of time, sticking to schedules, in communicating and stuff like that in some ways. But I'm obviously much more emotional and emotionally driven and reactive.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing.
Yeah.
You get the thing that makes Morton angry is people refusing to kind of take responsibility for their actions or their thoughts.
Yeah.
And not listening. That's the thing that makes you angrier than anything, is when people refuse to listen.
Yeah.
And refuse to learn and acknowledge what's right in front of them.
Yes. Oh.
As the color starts popping into his face just thinking about this.
Yeah. And of course, that can be a bit of a struggle with, young children.
Yeah. Or yeah.
Well, yeah, a lot of other people too, but now it's...
But it's, willful ignorance. That could make you punch a wall.
Mm-hmm. So far, I've never punched a wall.
No. But I've seen you...
I have slammed doors on occasion.
Isn't that hard to imagine? The sweet face. I have definitely slammed doors.
Yeah. I'm the kind of person where like I get upset and I'm like, I want to be upset, and like I slam a door and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, and then I try to stay upset, and it just like it's hard for me to stay upset for longer periods of time. It was like,
oh, what really makes you angry is willful ignorance, yes, but yeah, if I walk away and refuse to engage in the conversation when you want to talk it through.
yes. Yeah. Oh, those are really our worst fights. Is like when we want different things, and like, and I want us to talk it through. But Katie, and this is something that I am learning more and more that it's something that she has with her from
childhood.
Yeah, like bad coping mechanisms from throughout her life,
or non-existent coping mechanisms.
Yeah, I mean,
avoid everything.
Yeah, but I mean that is a coping mechanism.
Right.
Like that
however
is,
flawed it is. It is what if it's what's getting you through. It's a mechanism. Yeah.
But because Katie is used to people assuming authority and refusing to discuss things. So when I give my detailed explanation of what I want, I am expecting her to do the same, but instead she just goes,
fine, let's just do what you want to do then.
And storms off, and that makes me very upset. Yeah, and it just like, again, drives home to me like how fortunate I have been that I have, I mean, my techniques for dealing with conflict are far from perfect, but I at least have learned functioning methods of dealing with stuff. And so many people don't.
Yeah. I just learned wait until the tension's broken by somebody cracking a joke, and forget and act like the tension that never happened.
Yeah.
And I hates it. So I would love to hear from you lovely people. What are things that you wish people knew about how your brains worked, or like what are your coping mechanisms for stress and conflict?
Yeah.
Really love to hear that.
Well, we're waiting for responses to that.
Yes. I don't know why I'm talking with a lisp right now.
All of this just reminds me of like my scout leader training, where of course conflict management was part of that. And then like one of the first things, it was like the first step to resolving a conflict is recognizing that the conflict exists. And then it sort of just became a running joke in my troop that like whenever there was the beginnings of conflict, everyone would go, so do we have a conflict here? And then it was like, and so like, and it was, and yeah, it was stupid, but it was really efficient in sort of like just breaking through. Like we never had a chance to get upset with each other because every time it was getting close to that, someone would go, so do we have a conflict here?
Immediately. But that's a huge thing. It's not a fight thing, but it is a thing that we just deflect with humor.
Yep.
And maybe sometimes it's good, but maybe sometimes it's not.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like there are a lot of things that don't need to be addressed. Like they just feel like it in the moment because you're upset, and so then it's about recognizing what those are. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I've been
Andreas tips people about the marriage book, which has a good chapter in conflict management.
Yes, that's cool. But I mean, yes, I like tips, but I'd rather hear something like real and personal. Like,
yes,
that's what I'm more after. But something really, really valuable. I've been talking to this kind of coach kind of not like a therapist, but like
but
a
but
coach.
it is sort of counseling. It's not because I don't think she's a licensed therapist.
I don't know, but like therapy goes into what happened before. And no, that's what I read, like from actual like people who've had therapy. Okay. It goes into your past and brings the past into the present of how is the past affecting your life now. And coaching is like, what are you thinking now? It's more now centered. Mm-hmm. And so it's like when you're feeling anxious, angry, whatever, you're telling yourself a story. Like the story I was telling myself when Morton was getting lost and stuff was, he doesn't really care about me. He's perfectly content to be by himself. He will just be by himself forever and ever and never even notice I'm there because he's happy with his computer. And that wasn't a true story, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's like acknowledging the stories we tell ourselves, replacing that with truth, and figuring out a better way to move forward in your brain. Mm-hmm. Gia said, okay, that's really difficult to answer. I don't have very good coping mechanisms so far. Yes, I relate. I think I get angry and I show it, but afterwards, just accept that the person is behaving the way they are.
Andrea said, it is very good to diffuse the situation in my experience. That's true.
It is good to diffuse situations.
Diffusing with humor is good if you then later on actually like, if you both like think about what happened and decide if it's worth pursuing and then actually discuss it in a mature way.
Like if Morton had made me laugh and it was great, but then later on said, so why were you so angry? Like, because I feel like you don't care about me.
Yeah.
Like, well, I do. I just lose track of time. But the more I learn about neurodiversity, the more it helps me to be more compassionate about it. And we've like made plans that, okay, in the evening when the kids are asleep, we'll watch some Star Trek. We'll hang out. We'll already have that time set so that we can do that. And then he can go veg out on his hobbies.
Yes. Like assign specific times that are us times and specific times that are alone times so that we get both.
Yeah, because we both need our alone time.
Yeah.
To just do our things.
To not act in effect when diffusing. Yes. But yeah, that's something.
But I think I get angry and show it, but I don't think there's anything wrong. Like, sometimes we have to show our anger, and burying it inside is just going to make it like a volcano later. Like, I think people who are able to express their anger and say, like, I'm angry, this is it, then the way of communication can be open.
Yeah. All emotions are valid as long as they are not used to hurt others. Mm-hmm. Like it goes back to, like the rule of self-defense is that you can never hurt anyone else more than they are or would be hurting you. Like that is like you that's this is normally about violence, but like this is something for me as my teacher training that we've been taught, like, because there's all this talk about like, no, you can never you can never say anything harmful, say or do anything harmful to any of the kids. And it's like, no, if a pupil is either harming or seriously threatening harm to either you or someone else, you are allowed to respond in kind, but never do more harm than you could reasonably believe that the other person was willing and capable of doing.
How can we relate that back to fights within relationships and families and things?
Yeah, I think and so that's so it then always becomes a matter of like, really thinking critically about what is happening and being like, okay, like, do I honestly believe that they are intending harm?
Oh, okay, I'm with you now.
Like-
Yeah, to have your assumptions of other people's, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And
sometimes it is really difficult because there are really horrible people out there. Really narcissistic, psychopathic people that really are poisonous. And it's like you shouldn't be stuck in that. If you're completely drained and hate your life and everything, like, you shouldn't feel stuck in that.
Yes. Yeah, if you honestly believe that if they are truly and knowingly causing you harm,
yeah,
then you have a right to defend yourself.
Totally. Or get out of that situation.
Yeah.
I totally believe that God ordains divorce when it's merited.
Yeah, that's...
Like, when a person is abusive, they have broken their marriage contract.
Yeah.
And there's so many people stuck in horrible, painful situations, and they are guilted by pastors and churches into thinking that they have to make it work. They have to change the person.
Yeah. And it's... Nope. Yeah, because you make a vow to love and cherish, and if you are not doing that, then that is
or if your brain is so wired that it's not capable of doing that.
Yeah.
Then for whatever reason.
Then you are not then you have broken your vows, and the other person has no obligation to stay in that situation.
Yeah. I feel like we've got a pretty good handle on the things that we argue about. That we're learning more about each other, and I'm acknowledging I have the things that I have to let go of.
Yeah. It's sort of interesting, and there are a lot of just weird quirks in who we are that just keep creating sort of lesser conflicts and things like that. One issue that keeps coming up is that I'm the one who keeps track of our finances. I do most of our shopping. I'm the one who keeps track of everything, and so I'm the one who's aware we're not doing well on money. We have to be careful with money right now. But I am also I think it could be said that I am generous to a fault.
You are,
and it's a really, really difficult thing that I'll be like, okay, so we're pretty much broke this month, but I got you these candies that I know you like. And it's it's one of those very, very, very difficult tightropes to walk.
I know that Morton wishes he could just get me everything that I ever wanted. It would make him so happy to be. You're so generous.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could just give everyone everything they need.
Yeah, not just me.
Yeah, especially you. But it's also I'm thinking too, about the kids and our families and so many people.
It's it sucks that there's so much need out there. How many times have we had those conversations? If we had all this money, all the people we could help, all the things we could do, yeah. And actually being able to have a house and not have to move every stinking year.
Yeah. We're hoping to get to stay here at least until I graduate and can start working.
So, as far as money goes, I'm 250 whatever odd. No, because I'm at 873 subscribers.
Wait,
783.
783. Yeah.
So how far am I away from 1,000?
217.
So I'm 217 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours away from applying for monetization. So if you want to help me get to 1,000 subscribers and just like run playlists while you're sleeping.
Well, except if you watch stuff too much from the same place, then YouTube can notice that.
Oh, but
when do I graduate? In a year, if all things go as planned.
Oh yeah, because that class that
I did fail one of my courses, but I'll be able to just redo the exam this fall while I'm doing my other courses. Like, this is not a course that holds me back, and so we just need to like fix up our final essay and then resubmit it in the fall, and it should be fine.
Yes.
But it's still a bit of a stress.
But I wanted to ask, have you seen my latest video from addict to author? I can't remember what I called it. Addict to author has made me cry. It's a really good video, and I'm kind of bummed that it hasn't really gotten much attention. So I know I'm uploading a lot lately. Maybe people just don't have time, but if you get a chance, it's a really good conversation. Shameless plug. Wait, can you shameless plug on your own live stream?
Yeah.
Shameless plug! Was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Not really.
Yeah, I feel like we kind of wrapped things up.
Yes, and speaking of things, I'm about ready for my introvert time.
Alrighty.
It's like adventure time, but the opposite.
Oh, Andres is in a corporate moving process.
We've done those.
We've done it a few times.
Yeah.
We packed up the office in California and in
Europe,
three times.
Yeah. We
were three corporate moving processes on 3 different continents.
Yeah, it's like it was amazing that like we managed to be there for all of the Covenant players' offices moving.
But I mean, it was coming up on the ministry kind of easing off in membership, which because of COVID turned out to be a really good thing.
Yeah.
If they'd gotten all the growth that they had hoped for, there would have been a lot more displaced people.
Yeah.
So it was all part of the way it was supposed to be. All part of the plan.
And we'll see that if maybe this helps people both in the ministry reprioritize, but also like people out there, this whole thing might have made more people willing to, give of themselves and see the world for a bit and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I hadn't thought of that.
Oh, but Andreas is doing for 250 employees. That's a bit bigger than what we did.
Andreas wins.
But then again, there are also more people to help, I suppose.
True. Yeah. Not one person moving 250 people's worth of stuff. I can't even imagine. I think it would be fun though if somebody was in charge that was like, move these from here to there, and I had a nice young strong back and was just able to see it get done. I think it would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
12 years ago.
I mean, we were doing the last move. Well, you couldn't help that
much the
last move because you were pregnant.
Yeah, because this guy knocked me up.
And on that note. I think that's good night.
But wait, Yaipin asked, is that some sort of record about 3 campuses moving? I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
because we were
the only people who were there for all 3 of those moves.
Yeah. So yeah, we're record Covenant players.
Yes. It's sort of funny that we know that we have some things that we have done that no one else has done.
Yeah, that kind of feels special. Like
we're also like the only people to perform Covenant players material
in Macedonia.
Or Northern Macedonia is what it's called these days.
Yeah.
Oh, just the amount of rubbish it creates to move. Oh,
man.
yeah.
And do you have to clean it all up before, like, or can you just like leave it? Because having to move and clean everything, like, that's a whole other layer.
But just also just the sorting and figuring out like all the stuff that is like in archives and such, and be like, okay, wait. What of these things do we actually need to take with us? It's like, okay, these, like, because I know that was the thing. It's like, wait, these kinds of reports need to be stored, like these records need to be stored for 10 years, but these records need to be stored in perpetuity. It's like to keep track of sorting it. Like, wait, so 10 years, what's the cutoff date for that? Okay, so we can get rid of anything that's older than this.
But I would love to be able to go into like closets and attics that haven't been gone through in years and years and just see what people put away in there, and just the treasure hunt of that.
Yeah. Yeah, what was it in the Cabinet Players office in California that you found like several people's birth certificates?
Yes. One of the birth certificates even had a baby footprint on it. And when I was able to give these things back to the people, it was so amazing. People were like, I never thought I'd see this. I actually ended up having to throw away some of my clothes to have enough room because I was overweight to be able to bring people their stuff.
Right. Yes. Like, oh, like it's like we need to get 2 kilograms of stuff out of this suitcase. All we have is like our clothes and then a bunch of like important like nostalgia things for other people.
Yeah, like one of the things was a blanket.
Hey,
Maria's here. Cool. One of the things was a blanket that this guy's mom had made for him, and she'd passed away. It was Jeff.
Oh yeah.
I got to give him his blanket.
Andreas's company has been in the office for 45 years.
45 years worth of stuff.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
I would seriously say, give me the dustiest places that nobody else wants to tackle. Give me that.
Yeah.
Please, I'll do it for free. Please, just let me look at your old stuff.
I mean, yeah, it's in processes like this where people suddenly just go, "Hey, this is a crawl space back here, with boxes in it." Like, oh. And someone who's been working there for decades goes, we were looking for those reports back in
1973. Oh man.
But yes, I will say good night.
Okay.
You can keep hanging out with the stream if you want.
Okay. Let me know if you want to keep hanging out with me.
Because she will.
Maria said, so nice that you brought that stuff to people. It was fun. It feels so good. That was an amazing experience. So when we were in California and there was stuff that had been in storage since the early 90s, and being able to contact the people through Facebook, ask them what they wanted done with it. Some people I would just, with their permission, lay all their stuff out on a couch and then take pictures of it and then send them the pictures so they could decide what they wanted to have done. I think it was like 7 full van loads of stuff that got taken to secondhand shops. And I didn't keep track of how much garbage it was. But that was an accomplishment I feel good about. And now I'm kind of doing a sorting thing with my editing work. It's digital, but it is this kind of taking off, getting rid of sifting through the whole thing, pulling out the best, throwing away the meh, so that it's all organized and it's all beautiful and it's telling a good story, and it's really fun to do. I love that I get to do this for a job. So Andreas works for the tax agency. Ho. And Maria has to go. Bye, Maria. Good night. So yes, people who are here, Andreas, Gea, are you still here? Ja, ich bin hier. Oh, and I wanted to ask the people who didn't answer. Gea says she's going to watch the video from addict to author. But let me know, other people here, if you will watch it, because it's just really special. It genuinely made me cry. This book was so intense. Suburban Gangsters. The way he really goes back to the time of his life when he was this callous, living this ridiculous life, to the changed man he is now, that regrets it, that wants to take his story and make something good out of it. So I read the book on my Kindle. I'll put the title here. Suburban Gangsters. It's very much not a squeaky clean book. It's got some rough stuff in there. Rough language, rough experiences. It's not for a easily offended person. But it's worth it. Now there's more people here. Well, that's weird. It says no data. Gaya says, sure, I want to continue to hang out, although I must admit I'm really tired, but I can still listen. And writing or talking isn't my strong suit anyway. Most of the time in many situations. You go ahead and enjoy your introvert time, Andreas. Thanks for being here. It's really fun to connect. I really look forward to these live streams. It's so cool that Morten's willing to do it. But with his, once something is a habit, it'd be harder to not do it. Yay! Yeah, he has not signed off yet. Yes. I have so many really great conversations ready to go with these incredibly fascinating people. People who are like actual rock stars. It's really cool talking to them with my experience of being an actor. So being able to tell them I know about the rigors of the traveling life, the full-time traveling life, and being able to connect with them about these things. And it's so cool, researching, trying to figure out what I'm going to ask them. I'm talking to a guy, and I have all these questions already for a conversation I'm having tomorrow with the guy who's the president of a magazine called Louder Than War. And I'm really excited to talk to him. I looked up the magazine online, and the manifesto was just so cool. I was like, it's so much about authenticity and appreciating all kinds of music, not just one kind, but saying all expressions of music are valid, and it's not about the money, it's about the expression. So Gaya's on holidays and have canceled many things like violin lessons, but not this. Aw, that's really cool. That's so cool that you're learning violin. My mom plays the violin, and I played it a little bit in elementary school and first year of middle school, but it didn't stick. Yes, ja, ich bin hier asked, where are your holidays at, Gaya? Are you on a trip? Yes, I want to know too. Thanks for asking. I kind of sometimes miss the whole being on trips after we spent so many years on the road. It was cool to meet so many new people and have so many different experiences that every now and then I'm like, oh, I really miss that variation in life. But being able to have my own bathroom and a bed, the same pillows, it's very nice. I remember it being really annoying to have to adjust to different pillows every single night or every few nights. What a weird life we had. I will wait for some comments and see what comes up, and then I will wrap this up pretty soon. It's been really fun. It's really cool to talk to Morten about these things, and I don't know, I think it's really healthy to kind of demystify these fights and talk about them when the emotions and the tension isn't there, to be able to look at them more straightforward, in a more straightforward, logical way. I'm glad that we talked about it. Is at home. Oh, she's having a staycation. She also loves sorting through things, but she doesn't have to go to work. Yay. Are you familiar with the term staycation, where you have a vacation at home, so you stay? Enjoy not having to go to work. For me, because I'm working at home, I have to make myself sometimes just go outside, take some time to breathe outside, look at flowers, and there's so many beautiful blooming trees on this island. Like, every single tree is blooming a different beautiful colored flower. And they smell so nice and they look amazing. So just going outside and then going somewhere where I'll see people that aren't just Morten or the kids. So there's the second-hand shop that's close by, if you've seen any of my vlogs that I've been in. I've been there a few times. Now the second-hand shop is as close as the beach used to be in the place we lived before here. I traded the beach for a second-hand shop. Yeah, because I'm working at home, I need to go outside and just not be in this house all the stinking time. Yeah, I've been here said, he never considered pillows like that before. Maybe you have a pillow recommendation with all your experience. Not really, because it's not like I checked the branding of the pillows, like, this is a good one. What kind is it? I will write this down. I never thought to do that. Looking back now, that would have been interesting. Could have, made a running page in a planner of how many different brands of pillows I'd used. There's so many things that the statistics would have been fascinating about, like the 12 years that I was in this ministry. How many beds did I sleep on? If I could actually know that number, that would be so cool, because that could have been thousands. Easily. Gaya said, yeah, if both people are willing to talk it through. Many people I'm close to don't like it. Oh, yeah, about the whole being able to talk about stress when the stress isn't right there. That's really too bad that people are not communicative. I hope that you can find a way to really express what you're feeling. And when this happens, I feel kind of phrases are helpful, because it's not coming off as attacking. It's acknowledging the relationship, giving the benefit of the doubt. You didn't mean to make me feel this way, but this is how this action made me feel. What can we do about this? I don't know. It's hard when giving general advice about situations you don't know anything about, can be really impossible. Yes, staycation. Yeah, I know this word. In German, we are saying my holidays are on Balkonien or in Bad Meingarten. Oh, that's cute. Like the balcony. That's funny. I remember reading the word bad all the time, but I don't remember what it means. But bad, ja, ich bin hier. Bad is like a thing before a lot of names in German. I can't think of any examples right now. I love puns, kinds of things like that. Well, this has been fun. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. So now, I shall give hugs. Hugs! And nostrils of death. I hope you nostrils of death with me. End stream. Bye.